Hi, you guys. Welcome back. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson, and in this video, we will be talking about mirror gazing, why you might want to practice mirror gazing, how to practice mirror gazing, and I will even share some experiences from my own life while practicing mirror gazing. So stay tuned. The first time I ever heard of mirror gazing was during my early experience as a student at the School of Metaphysics back in 2009. And when I first began studying at that mystery school, they actually asked us to gaze at the mirror for 10 minutes each day and try to just bring our attention back to this point on our forehead anytime that our attention would wander. And I just did what I was told as a student of this mystery school. And so that is how my relationship with mirror gazing began. Mirror gazing is simply the act of gazing at your own face in the mirror for a predetermined amount of time and simply focusing your attention on the reflection before you. Now, mirror gazing can actually bring up different emotions from deep within. Mirror gazing can bring up some of the shadow side of yourself, because as you're reflecting yourself back to you physically while gazing at the mirror, you are also moving your attention deeper and deeper within your own being. And that can sometimes stir up some things that were kind of left there unconsciously. Mirrors are well known for their magical properties. Think of how Merlin was known to carry a magic mirror. And you can even look at fairy tales such as Beauty and the Beast with the mirror that would reflect the outside world to the people within the castle. And you can look at Snow White and the queen, who would always ask her magic mirror, who is the fairest one of all? You can also look at urban legends and different myths throughout mankind that have to do with the mirror. Things such as the fact that vampires don't even have a reflection in a mirror. Could it be because they don't have a soul? And you can also look at Bloody Mary and those different kind of paranormal games that people play throughout the ages and conjuring their imagination through the reflection of the mirror. At one time, it was actually not very common to own a mirror. Only the elite owned these tools. Nowadays, mirrors are basically a household item for most people. And so therefore, a mirror could actually be considered a magical tool that is hiding out as a simple household good. So the next time you look in the mirror, consider the other side of the mirror and the other realm of possibilities. And that other realm of possibilities are the dimensions deep within your mind. And so mirror gazing can bring us closer to our inner subconscious mind as we gaze at our very own reflection in the mirror and let that reflection give us insight and wisdom in ways that we never really knew that we could receive by looking in a mirror. Now, in my own experience with mirror gazing, way back when I was a student of metaphysics back in 2009, I had some strange experiences while doing the mirror gazing exercise. I was to do the mirror gazing exercise for 10 minutes each and every day without missing a day, if at all possible. And so, as a good student, I did what I was told and I practiced this exercise each and every day, setting a timer and gazing at my reflection in the mirror. Now, at first, it was mostly just me not really being able to focus too much on a single point of focus at the very, very beginning. But as I would continue to practice each and every day, my focus began to zoom in on that point in my forehead, just above my eyebrows, right in the middle of your forehead. So I was trying to focus on that point. And the more that I practiced, the more I began to kind of see changes in my face, only in my peripheral vision though. And it was very strange and odd to me that my face kind of seemed to be changing, but only in my peripheral vision. Because as I would move my vision down to my areas of the face that I thought was moving, obviously it would just, the reflection would return to just my face. It sounds weird, I know. And another thing that I experienced early on was the negative effect. And that is, as I began to enter into my subconscious mind, as I gazed at my own reflection, I actually started to see the lights becoming dark and the darks becoming light. So it almost gives like that negative effect from like photography film or something along those lines. After a few weeks of practicing this mirror gazing exercise, we then moved on to other mental practices and exercises, and therefore I no longer practice the mirror gazing after those first few weeks of being a student of metaphysics. So fast forward to the more present day, and I decided to give mirror gazing another try. And I realized that from my much different perspective than what I was perceiving the world back in 2009, my perspective has changed so much. And just my simple outlook and the way that I move within the inner levels of my mind has changed so much. So as I practiced in the more present day, I just brought a little hand mirror like this one that you see here. And I brought this mirror into a bath because I feel like a bath is a good place for someone like me who is a mother and wife and just very busy. It's a good time to just kind of unwind and have a little privacy and quiet time and solitude. So I brought the mirror into the bath and I did the mirror gazing exercise last night. Now, as I did this exercise in this present day, it was a totally different experience, but yet it was still the same in some ways. In the present day, I very quickly moved into that negative state that I told you about where the light is dark and the dark is light. So I entered into that mental state much more quickly than I remember entering into the state as an early student. And once I did, it was almost immediate. My face was just changing form and changing shape before my eyes in my peripheral vision. But now, as someone who has a more controlled mind. And also I understand symbology more deeply. I understand the mind more deeply and the way that my mind works more deeply. And so therefore, instead of trying to look at my face as it changed, I let it change before my eyes in my peripheral vision, knowing that it was simply an inner mind experience that I was having while my eyes are open and unfocused, but yet focused at the same time. Because as you're gazing at this point on your forehead, you want to almost focus on that point. And it's almost like to the point where your vision starts to blur. And so at that point, it's not really blurry, but it's like right on the edge there as you're focusing so intently on that single point of focus. But anyway, I felt as though that now that I'm a much different person, that it was much easier to move within the inner levels of mind much more quickly. And then I was able to not really be alarmed by what I was seeing in my peripheral vision. And I knew that it would not look the same if I tried to look directly at it. Therefore, I continued to focus on my single point of focus. And I just let whatever wanted to happen, happen. Now, when this practice was over, I gazed in the mirror this time for about 15 minutes. And I felt almost a little uneasy for a moment in time, but only because I realized that this practice actually stirred up some things deep within the inner levels and kind of brought them up to the surface for me to then examine and let go of. So if you begin to have a similar experience where either during or after the mirror gazing experience or exercise, that you begin to kind of feel maybe a little uneasiness or some old emotions kind of come up to the surface, don't just shove them back down again. I would recommend facing them and really reflecting on yourself and seeing what they might be trying to teach you. The mirror gazing exercise is so easy to practice. All you have to do is set a timer for 10 minutes before beginning this practice. You can either use a handheld mirror, similar to the one I just showed you earlier, or you can go into your bathroom, your restroom, and just kind of gaze at the mirror in front of you on the wall. Either way, you might want to make it so that the light isn't too bright in your face as you're doing this mirror gazing exercise. You just want it to be kind of a relaxed feeling environment. So set your timer for 10 minutes, and when you hit begin, just start to focus on that point about an inch or so above your eyebrows in the middle of your forehead. And as you begin to gaze here, anytime that your mind begins to wander, just simply bring your mental attention back to this point on your forehead. If your eyes or your mind begin to wander again, just bring it right back over here to this point on your forehead. You get the idea. And it might be a little mental tug of war at first, and you might be in the very beginning more focused on what's happening in the physical reality before you. But as you practice each and every day, maybe for a week or two, you might want to continue to practice this to really get some results. But as you practice more and more, you will begin to realize that you're going deeper and deeper within your own mind. And as you do gaze at the mirror, at your own reflection, while moving within to deep levels of your own mind, you can then begin to see exactly what you need to experience so that you can remove any blockages from your energy, your emotions, even just from your mind, from your mentality. So as you gaze at the mirror, you don't really have to think about any of this. Just simply continue to bring your attention right back to that point on your forehead. That's all you have to do. I recommend mirror gazing if you have some shadow work that you want to get through, or if you simply want to learn to concentrate and to increase your focus and concentration so that you can learn to be more focused and concentrated in your day-to-day life. So I recommend trying the mirror gazing exercise no matter what, as long as you do it when you're feeling pretty good and you're not feeling like you're gonna bring up too much negativity as you gaze in the mirror. Don't force it, just flow with it. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and share this video with your friends out there. Have you ever tried mirror gazing? If you've tried mirror gazing, or if you have any questions about it, feel free to use the comment section down below. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe today. It's right under this video. And once you subscribed, you can then click that bell so that you can be notified each and every time that I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.